cut off?
That's not what I meant. I mean, like, us being live, Link, so I can
I'm
put it in
setting
the-
us live now.
I don't believe you.
Ugh.
It's
Okay.
working, and we're
Cheers
live.
to me.
Hooray.
That's how we're
Cheers,
starting.
everyone.
Cheers
Oh my
to
God.
Ryan Pagella and also the rest of us who are here, but who cares about that?
Yep.
Welcome
Welcome
back to another
Mutant
Mutant Ages
Ages.
live stream.
Ooh,
I tried to put
I
some
like
text on the screen this time. Are you guys
Yeah.
impressed by this text? What do we think? Does it look corny as hell? Tell
I like-
yourselves it's because it's honoring the 1979 to 1980 of it all.
This is better than what we've done at all in the past, in the sense that, like, there is a label.
Look, we're baby steps. I feel like every week I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more professional this time. Okay, so hopefully Ryan and I sound pretty good. Let's hear everybody else's levels. Katie, welcome back to the
Yay.
show. You
Hello.
sound wonderful to me.
Good, I
People
just
in the
woke up.
chat should say whether or not they can hear Katie just fine. Righty, welcome back to the show as well.
Thank you so much for having me. How do I sound?
You sound lovely to me. And Todd,
Rise
last
with
but
the
not
most
least.
professional equipment here.
I'm really glad that I undeafened Discord because I was listening to how everybody sounded and was about to miss you calling my name to check how I sounded. Do I sound okay?
You sound
you
beautiful to
sound
me.
great.
I will
This
I will
is- this
turn
is
you down
my-
ever so slightly because
Yeah, this
I-
is my
I love
fancy
your
new
lovely
computer
voice.
after
Right.
my last one died.
Okay.
So
R.I.P.
know.
R.I.P.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay,
And-
so
Don't mind me. I'm just doing all the social work right now, as usual. It's like as soon as we go live. But I have a fun story. Like right before anybody dropped in here was this Katie, Todd, and I apparently took off my headphones twice, in which Todd complimented me, and I missed it both times. So,
Shit.
what were the
You know.
compliments? Were they anything good?
He was
Were they
being nice
worth
to me.
reiterating? Aw. Yay,
And I-
welcome to the chat to
Yay.
Drake and Totally Not Mr. Sinister. So today we are going to be reading a Dazzler movie treatment. So this is by James Shooter, who's a comic book writer who wrote
Hi,
Secret
Soren.
Wars.
Hi, Drake. Hi, Totally Not Mr.
Yes,
Sinister.
welcome to the stream. Welcome.
Wow.
And this
Arrange
script,
windows.
so I read this blog post on Jim Shooter's blog, which I'll go ahead and post this link in the chat, just so that people have it if they want to check it out and follow along. And there's a really quick story on this blog about how this came to be. So originally, this treatment was actually supposed to be for a 30-minute animated special. I don't even know if you knew this, Rye.
I didn't know that. I thought it was going to be like a real thing. So I guess it was going to be.
It's supposed
that
to be
explains-
animated. So
Okay,
that's
that
why
explains why all
this
these
cast
actors
list
are here.
is
It's
insane.
And it wouldn't
So-
actually feature these people. Okay,
Although
got
it would have been delightful if it had, but I feel like it
didn't know
is
that.
worth noting that the original animated special, if my lovely co-host can scroll to page 2 of our PDF and read this cast list,
the cast list is something else.
it's
Well,
incredible.
What?
It's intense.
What?
Okay.
I'm really
I-
looking forward to seeing if anybody listening to this podcast is gonna know who the fuck Letty and Squiggy are. Like
I don't
I'm
think
not-
I do. Todd, are you the only
We're-
one who
they were,
does?
they were from Laverne. Okay. One, yes, I'm old. Thank you for reminding me. Two, they're from Laverne and
We're-
Shirley.
Okay.
And I want to say Happy Days before that.
Okay, well, I do know every single other person on this list, so I will say that. So starting off, we have Cher as the
Very.
Witch Queen? Question mark. I assumed Cher was going to be playing Alison Blair, but perhaps
She
not.
Is not. She's not.
Donna Summer as the Queen of Fire. I don't even think.
These are all characters. Okay, like I guess I should preface that I've actually read this, and like this almost has nothing to do with like the Marvel comics. Like it's in another universe in which the Avengers plus Dazzler get sucked into it, in which Cher and all these other
That makes a little
musical
more
artists
sense.
are just.
Yeah.
Which
So
I
it's-
guess
It's basically a Gargoyles episode, which I think is very
Yeah.
appropriate for the show.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so then we have Kiss, the band Kiss, as the Dead Knights, which
they're here.
wonderful. We have Robin Williams as Tristan. I don't know a fast talking Robin Williams, I assume, height of his powers, height of all of it.
I thought he always is talking fast.
Yes, especially in this time period. Rodney Dangerfield as Dewey Cheatham and Howe, as in the joke name for every legal firm in this time period. And also Lord Chaos, because sure. And then also the Village People. We're going to play the Stompers, and then Lenny and Squiggy, as we all know, as the Jesters.
Do we all know?
Do we all
Maddie?
know them? No, none of us know them. This is incredible. And then, of course, there are no names listed to play Dazzler, Spider-Man, and the Avengers, but they're apparently also in the script. So I guess we weren't going to get celebs to play any of them, but we were going to get celebs to play all of these unknown characters. This mostly reminds me of like a Mojo Vision situation, or like a, I don't know, Doctor Strange's multiverse. So Ryan,
Doctor Strange. Yes.
how
Which
do
one?
you, since
doing
this is
me.
not a script per se, do we want to alternate paragraphs? How do you
That was
want
my
to?
plan.
Okay.
So I was thinking that we would do paragraph per paragraph. There is one section here where there's like a paragraph that's an entire page, and I'm 90% certain that Todd's gonna wind up reading it because that's usually how it goes.
Just because that's
Fuck you.
Yeah. Listen, none of us want that to happen. It's just how it is, okay? It's just how it is.
Yeah.
So, Rai, how about you start first? And then you can pass it on to somebody else after you finish the first paragraph. Unless anybody has
Yeah.
any more thoughts before we kick off
that's-
this crazy caper.
That's fine. I'm emailing Katie the script because it's not.
I would
It's
I
not
would
opening for me at
definitely
all.
I
That's
just
I would
valid.
definitely
Maybe.
read that. I would read
No.
that blog post, if only because for like the multiple instances of Jim Shooter going, well, I was
Okay,
gonna
okay,
write it, but then they give it to this bitch.
I
Like,
will happily, while we are waiting for Katie to get the script, I will read the blog post by Jim Shooter. How does that sound?
That
Okay.
sounds good because I did not read it.
It starts off with the sentence written, this is all Jim Shooter that I'm quoting. He starts off writing, Wikipedia has much of it wrong, which is a real banger of an
We're
opening
still
line.
doing it right.
He's already out here like, nobody knows what really happened. He continues. Sometime in early 1979, Marvel's in-house counsel and VP of Business Affairs, Alice Donenfeld, proposed that we create a superhero and singer character. She was hoping to set up a joint venture with a record company. We produced comics featuring the character, and they'd produce and market music using studio musicians, as was done with the Archies. So pause right here. This is about the creation of the character Dazzler. We're all following so far, right?
Yeah,
And the
yep.
comparison is to the Archies, as in Archie's band and Archie comics. Just so that we're all on the same page about what time period we're in. Back to the show. Disco was big at the time. Virtually every bar with a dance floor played disco. From upscale nightclubs like the Ice Palace in Studio 54 to dance halls like the one seen in Saturday Night Fever to local joints. I assigned Tom DeFalco and John Romita Jr. to take a shot at creating the character. In my initial discussions with them, I believe we came up with the notion of giving her light powers, and therefore being able to provide her own light show, hence the Dazzler part of the name Disco Dazzler. I don't remember who came up with which parts of the above. I was the one who came up with the energy transmutation rationale to explain her powers. John did some nice design sketches, performer's attire that looked just superhero enough. The part that Tom delivered was pretty standard. She was a young woman who dreamed and struggled to become a star, born with a gift like the X-Men. She found she could use her powers openly while performing, under the pretense that it was some kind of stage magic, a closely guarded trade secret. Todd wanted to name her Evelyn Free. Evil and free. Get it? That didn't seem appropriate, and no
my
one
God,
liked it.
What?
This is such a shady post.
it is. It is.
Tom was in love with that name and ever thereafter was looking for a place to use it. I don't know if he ever did or not. Anyway, somehow we settled on Allison Blair. Dazzler debuted in X-Men
I'm sorry,
130.
This is like suddenly written in the style of Ryan Pagella writing an email to Maddie.
I
at
know.
that
Well,
time.
this is a 2011 blog post, so yeah, it really is written in the style of the time.
Oh my God.
Not much happened after that until one day, later in 1979, I was called to an impromptu meeting upstairs. Present were Alice Donenfeld, President Jim Galton, and our Hollywood rep whose name escapes me. They seemed pretty excited. Alice and the rep had met with Neil Bogart of Casablanca Record and Filmworks, who was not only interested in the Archies type recording venture, but wanted to launch it with a half-hour animated special. Cool. Bogart wanted lots of Marvel heroes in the special, and he wanted the stars he had under contract to provide voices for the non-Marvel characters. There had to be, therefore, characters to play for Robin Williams, Cher, Donna Summer,
Oh,
Rodney
God.
Dangerfield, Lenny and Squiggy, the Village People, and Kiss. So they all had to be in the script, like, by contract. Anyway,
That's crazy.
they had a
Okay,
follow-up meeting already scheduled with Bogart. They needed a treatment for the story in 4 days. I was told I could hire anyone I wanted. Price no object. The Hollywood rep, who could not have named a comic book writer if his life depended on it, suggested Harlan Ellison. The idea that Harlan could be brought up to speed, do this thing in 4 days, and agree to do it work for hire, it had to be worked for hire, I was told, seemed unlikely. Better, I thought, for one of us comics guys. But who in 4 days? Archie would have been my first choice, but 4 days? Fast was not one of Archie's strong suits. So I did it, for free, by the way, over a weekend. If I was going to be the fool who blew the deal, I didn't want to be handing in a bill at the same time. What I wrote is posted below. Should I keep reading? Should we
How
read the
long is
script? I'm about halfway through. There's a lot more
We
stupid
can
crap.
summarize the rest.
The rest
We're
of
like,
this is that they have a meeting. All of the stars that we just described get dropped from the deal. It becomes a feature-length film based on the popularity of the treatment that we're about to read, which did include all of the celebrities and was for a half-hour animated special. So this is not actually a script treatment for a full-length movie, it's worth noting, but this was what sold the idea of a full-length movie happening, at least to Bo Derek, who wanted to play Dazzler for a time period. And then that just didn't end up happening.
What would have been amazing, though.
I know,
Like,
but there was like a bidding war for the project supposedly, and then a variety of other things happened, and then the movie just didn't pan out. And folks can enjoy reading the rest of this to find out why that happened, although it kind of seems like even Jim Shooter doesn't totally know. It's just, you know how sometimes movies peter out for no reason? Seems like one of those.
Because I feel like it's one of those situations where it took so long for them to actually get it into production that they were like, you know what?
It's
Let's
also
just
like
cancel
this
to do that.
character, like why? Like, I mean, no offense to
the
Dazzler.
series of bad things that happened was so weird. It was
I know.
okay, so we gave the treatment to the company, but the company then was kind of going out of business because there was embezzling, so we kind of had to skip that. And then this person thought it should be a feature film, and Derek was like, "Sure, I'll do that." But then they gave the script to this Leslie Stevens person who has a very strong, like, "Oh, that bitch" reaction
from Jim Shooter, who
From
hates
Jim
Leslie
Shooter.
Stevens, whoever they
and
are.
then Derek is like, "No, I want my husband to direct the film," and everyone's like, "Okay, but your husband like ruins films whenever he does it." So Bo Derek left, and all of a sudden they have no money left.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is
Apparently,
such a-
Leslie Stevens completely rewrote the script and changed Dazzler's powers, which infuriates Jim's Shooter in this paragraph where he describes it as moronic. It's pretty iconic. It's a great blog post. But we are going to read the version of this that Jim Shooter wrote in a weekend for no money that almost allowed a Dazzler movie to happen.
I'm gonna say a few things here. Thing number one, this script is almost written like I did in writing D2, our film that we filmed in high school, where it's just like it goes scene by scene. That's all you get.
Yep.
The other thing I want to answer, not Mr. Sinister in chat, that says, wasn't Fox still planning on making the Dazzler movie for over 30 years? And the answer is yes, because it was a contractual situation. Although that is now up, which is why she was finally allowed to appear
in the Phoenix
shitty
movie, the Dark Phoenix.
movie. Right, and so now she's available for the greater MCU. My final thought is that maybe they just canceled this movie because they realized it'd be a lot easier to make that other straight to DVD or straight to VHS movie, Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue, with like the Smurfs and Ninja Turtles and shit. They're like, it's easier to get these guys than like Cher.
I mean, the only reason it was going to be easy and actually required to get Cher was because this record company was on board to help make this special happen, which is part of what's so funny.
I'm stopping everybody right now because Jeremy Brock, sorry, I just said his whole name. Brock just came in and said, imagine a world where Dazzler ended up being Grace Jones as originally intended instead of becoming Bo Derek, because she was originally designed to be based off of Grace Jones, and she was black, and at some point it switched, but I love that because I love Grace Jones.
I would love
maybe someday. All right, so are we ready to read this thing? What do we think?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you, Todd. I just saw that as like Grace Jones trumps anything anyone has to say at all times.
That makes sense to me. Okay. Rye P, why don't you read the first paragraph?
Sure. Okay, everybody. The story begins with the Disco Dazzler on
Isn't
stage
this
at a
the wrong
live
Ryan?
concert.
No, I said Rye
No,
P.
I'm Ryan P.
Oh.
I mean,
Okay,
it doesn't help that Ryan.
you can't do that.
I know. They both
We
have
have
rhyming
YT and
last.
YT.
I know.
They sound too similar.
Yeah, it's been like this our whole lives where somebody
Yep.
would say Rye P and we'd still both answer what,
We both
and then they say
turn,
Rye
huh?
T. Yeah, Ryan and I would be like,
Huh?
what?
Okay.
And then they say Rye. The only time that it got different, the only way we could do it is
We'll
if one
just
person
say
said
Poochie.
no. For a long time, everybody was like Truman or Ryan, and apparently Ryan didn't get to keep his first name, and I did. So I
Well,
don't know.
I think it's because
Truman.
Truman kind of sounds like a name, also a first
Yeah, it's
name.
Technically a first name
Truman,
as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it kind of works. Whereas Pagella,
It's got a
nobody
good-
even knows how to pronounce that. Ryan, we've gone over
Yes,
this.
it does.
Pajalia, Pagala.
Like
Yeah,
exactly,
Pagella,
you don't know how to
Pagello.
pronounce it either.
Pagellas.
So
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been able to pronounce my name in the past 37 years I've been alive. Anyway, okay, so in classic Ryan Pajala fashion, it is written like this, where it says, the story begins with the Disco Dazzler on stage at a live concert. She's singing her heart out like Priest from Bubblegum Crisis, and the auditorium is awash in the dazzling, coruscating light show she creates, because she's doing her leg. Whatever the shit she does with her mutant powers. Multicolored brilliance bursts from her hands, reflecting from her mirrored pendant and wristlets. That's not a word. Throbbing in time to the disco beat. The audience is hers. Everyone is lost in the sound and light. Dazzler's number reaches a crescendo, and then suddenly she vanishes in a flash of Syrian light. The audience goes wild. They love it. They think it's part of the act. The backstage folks are frantic, though. This wasn't supposed to happen. It was Mojo. He crawls onto the stage. And he's
no,
like,
it's
"Well,
not.
that's
Ryan's
ridiculous."
making that up. That's not written in there. Okay, Righty, why don't you read the little chunk?
Yeah, you want to break?
Yeah, I guess read the entire next section. Why not?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at the Avengers Mansion, a posh dwelling on Central Park West, the Avengers gather for their weekly meeting. Present are the following: Iron Man.
Yeah,
secretly- Go ahead.
Full MCU. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
it really
know.
is. Look at this.
Yeah,
I just
Iron
enjoy
Man.
I just need the
Guys,
idea that
Iron
they're
Man.
like that they're showing up and just like, hey, so let's bring the weekly Avengers meeting to order. Does anybody have any new business? Like, Tony's hitting a tiny little gavel on a table or some
This is
shit.
like a Justice League parody and Robot Chicken.
That's what I was thinking, or like the old Super Friends gags that they used
Yes.
to recreate
Oh
from
God!
Robot Chicken.
Now all I can hear is that Super Friends transition thing.
Oh,
that
no.
wong wong.
Oh,
the
yeah.
three-
I
Oh,
mean,
God, I'm
really,
old.
what's fascinating to me about this is that instead of Captain America and Thor, we just have Beast, Hank McCoy, as part of the Avengers here.
Yes.
I don't know why that's who they chose.
As played
Does
by
that ever
Kelsey
happen?
Grammer.
Yeah,
No.
was
Oh,
Beast
God,
ever a part of the Avengers and not? I mean, I would think Wolverine would be a more logical choice here, but
No, yeah, Beast. We talked
I'm sure
about
he's
it on
he's
that.
appeared,
Was
but
there
not.
Wolverine in
No, no.
1979?
Yeah,
Oh, good
okay.
point. I don't think
No,
there was
wait,
yet.
guys. I have the answers. One, Wolverine was there, but he wasn't part of the Avengers. Two, we covered Beast's character history on season 2 of X-Men: The Animated Series, in which he was part of the Avengers for a full 10 years.
You expect me
and
to
was
remember
fight-
that, Ryan? That was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, and he was like fucking Simon. Remember Wonder Man? And like they were like super gay together that whole time. And then they were like, they're not gay. They're just close buds that like happen to like sleep in the same bed.
So
I don't
that's
know,
all
it's like
part
a
of
real-
this late 70s, early 80s panoply as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, Righty, I guess you can tell us about Iron Man.
Yeah, my bad. All right. Iron Man, secretly inventor Tony Stark, who,
Not a
clad
secret.
in solar-powered solar-powered?
I think
Yeah.
Jim Shooter didn't do his research. Anyway, let's keep
fine.
moving.
Sorry.
Maybe it was at the time.
Circuitrized armor of his own design is an invincible modern knight.
Ooh.
Okay. The Falcon, whose rocket-powered wings give him the power of independent flight. He is actually Sam Wilson, a black teacher from Harlem.
Can I
Damn.
just say, by the way, that if the
Good.
wings give him flight, then it's clearly dependent flight?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Isn't he dependent on the wings? Okay, sorry.
Okay. You are not wrong.
I got that off my chest. I'm sorry, Ryan. Keep going.
Don't worry. The Scarlet Witch, born Wanda Frank?
Nope.
the hell?
Not her last name, but Sure.
You know
Truly
what? She's been
enjoy-
retconned enough times, it works.
Truly enjoy the image of Wanda as the son of the Franks from Brooklyn who own a bodega. Just,
I went way darker. I was
Choo,
thinking
choo,
Anne
thinking
choo.
Frank.
Anne Frank?
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
I was like, damn, we going Anne Frank with this? All right.
I wouldn't
She's
go
still
there
Jewish.
either, though.
Okay.
Right.
She's Eastern. Hello, I am Scarlet Witch. I am here to sell you.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Still doing it better
doesn't seem
than
fair.
Elizabeth, who's forgotten to do that accent for the past 10 years. Anyway,
Yeah.
Born Wanda
At least they
Frank.
pointed it out in
The accent really
WandaVision.
comes and goes, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you,
shit.
Alberta.
Okay. She was born Wanda Frank, apparently. She's a mutant who, with a
Hey.
gesture, can cause disasters to occur. She is Eastern European and has a rather formal bearing.
Okay.
Okay.
The Beast, not Beast, the Beast.
The Beast.
The Beast.
Kill the
Also a
Beast.
mutant. Yes, exactly. Also a
course.
mutant, Hank McCoy is furry and bestial in powers and appearance, but extremely intelligent and erudite. He's crazy.
It literally says that.
It's so fucking shady. Like, just out of nowhere, it's just like he's so smart and he's blue and furry. He's out of his fucking mind.
He's fucking crazy.
Fucking crazy, man.
Crazy.
Like,
I
I
mean,
never
honestly,
expected to hear
canon-
erudite and crazy in the.
In the same little
Juxtaposing
blurb.
sentences.
Yeah,
Oh my
I didn't
God.
expect that.
What's
okay.
this conversation in chat with, like, they're like Wanda and Pietro,
Pietro
Frank,
Frank.
son of Eric Frank.
Oh, no.
Oh
Cool.
my god.
God damn it. Okay, the Wasp.
Yay.
Jan Van Dyne Pym.
At least it's the right one this time.
Yeah,
Yes.
but she also took Hank Pym's last name, Van Dyne Pym.
Yeah.
Has she ever done
Oh
that?
yeah. I don't think
Okay.
she did.
I don't know.
Van Dyne Pym sounds like a Rubbermaid manufacturing company, right? Like, what do they make? Oh, space age plastic and like salad utensils and shit like that.
And just a serum to make you shrink really small. But don't worry about that. That's like a separate thing.
Don't
they're
worry about it.
working
It's
on.
fine.
No military application whatsoever. Don't worry about
No,
it.
no, no.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. It's totally legal.
Was given a serum by her scientist husband. Well, there it is. That
Mhm.
enables her to shrink to insect size and sprout wings. Wait. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
That's
She
correct.
is she is an heiress, and
What?
very an heiress, like rich parents, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. I mean, not
Bitch.
normally, but yeah.
This,
Yeah.
Excuse me. This next line already is annoying to me.
Very much a lovable scatterbrain.
She is not a scatterbrain.
No, she's supposed to
Also-
be the leader
Yeah.
of the team. Thank you very much. Come
This
on.
is so dumb, but I love that they have scientist husband and it's hyphenated.
I actually like that
Yeah.
too. And I also like that Pym is not important and is not part of the Avengers and is merely
There's
the
your
husband in the
who's in the
background
movie.
somewhere who
of
fucking
Jan's
cares?
life, who made her the
That
serum
guy.
that makes her into a
Yep.
superhero, and we aren't
Piss
gonna meet
off.
him. Love it,
Oh,
love
boy.
that.
Hated husband helper. Okay.
He's
I can't
buried in a
believe it's
box
not
on the
husband.
ground.
Yes, exactly.
Cool, Katie, why don't you go next?
All right. Jarvis, the Avengers' trusted butler, is serving tea and scones as, with typical bantering, the Avengers convene their round table. Suddenly, in a blinding flash, the Avengers vanish. Jarvis drops his tea tray and says, "Oh my word!"
This is like when Jarvis was still a human. Before
I
they
know,
changed
I was
everything.
thinking that
I'm
too.
too British to express surprise.
In my head, when Katie started reading that, I pictured him as a robot, and then halfway through the paragraph, I was like, wait, no, he's still a
Yeah.
person.
He's
It would be
human.
funny if it
little
was
British
just
man.
the okay. Wouldn't it be funny if it was just the Vision instead? And
And
just
he was
drops
like, oh,
it
my
everywhere?
wood! And then he like
But,
falls
like,
through a
yeah.
window.
It's like he's so shocked he doesn't drop it. It just phases through his hands. He's like, "Oh my word, where's Wanda?"
Wanda
Randomly gives
Frank!
The face
Uh,
where he was having the thing extracted. Just
Yeah, there's like terrifying flashbacks to that moment. Is all of this
Yeah.
in his head? Todd, do you
It
want to go
is.
next?
I would love to go next because the full page paragraph is the next page. Suck it, Ryan. All right.
Okay.
Just then, Peter Parker and girlfriend
There's
Mary
another
Jane
one.
Watson are boarding a subway in the theater district. Mary Jane makes some sort of lighthearted
forgot
compliment.
Spider-Man's here.
Wait, what is this sentence? Mary Jane makes some sort of lighthearted comment about being mugged.
Guys, it's the
Mary
80s. Like,
Jane just goes to
Peter
Peter like, hope we
Funny
don't
if someone
get
just
mugged.
took my shit. That would be so cute. Oh my god.
LOL New York, am I right?
Hashtag just subway things. And Pete, no, Peter, no. He will never be Pete.
Pete.
That just instantly turns into the Adventures of Pete and Pete
Or
Ew.
for
Kingdom
me,
Hearts.
and that's a completely different thing. Can't
Yeah,
do
we're
it.
gonna
Peter.
modify
I like how
that.
you're
We're
like
gonna
Pete
modify
and Pete,
that.
and I'm like, and I'm thinking Maleficent's henchman, Pete from Disney.
From Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Pete. That's also
might, might be slightly older than
just-
Maleficent, but whatever, it's fine. It's Peter.
It's just Kingdom Hearts Pete hanging out with Mary Jane Watson.
Mhm.
Well, that would be funny. All right, can't do that voice. But not likely, he assures her, and then he vanishes in a burst of brilliance.
Oh, so Peter's also
Peter.
been absconded into the nothingness. Okay,
Yeah,
Peter finds himself tumbling through subspace, falling down a seemingly endless tunnel-like vortex. He doesn't know what's going on or where he's going, but he figures that he's better off facing this as Spider-Man. He doffs his outer clothes, pulls on his mask, and ka-thump, suddenly lands back in reality. He
Okay,
appears
he
to
was
be in
wearing his-
Manhattan.
I thought he was getting naked, and then I realized that he was wearing.
He takes off all of his clothes.
Oh my god.
He falls into a Chrono Trigger time tunnel,
Uh-huh.
and the first thing he does is just like, oh, I better take off my clothes.
Okay.
Well, because he's wearing a Zentai suit under there, okay? He's
Oh,
not
I'm
taking
in
off all his
trouble.
clothes. Oh, no!
Peter Parker sexily removing his shirt while he like falls through just the infinite darkness of space.
Diddloof. Anyway,
As
he
you do.
appears to be in Manhattan, and yet something isn't right about it. Before he has time to ponder, though, the sounds of battle catch his attention. Could that be what's wrong about it? That there's a battle going on in it? I
Also,
don't know.
I think they're about to announce that like it's also the apocalypse or something.
Yeah,
I don't
and
remember.
he's like, what is wrong with Manhattan? It looks a little off. It's like completely dilapidated. Not far away, he sees the Avengers and Disco Dazzler fighting weirdly garbed horsemen mounted on very weird lizard-like steeds. The Avengers and the Dazzler appear to be protecting a guy in a regular business suit, Cheatham, who's standing nearby, looking rather uncomfortable in his typical Rodney Dangerfield way.
Wait, who
Time
the
out.
hell's Cheatham?
Okay,
So-
Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe from Rodney
Oh.
Dangerfield's characters.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got
Okay,
it.
so they were going to have him voiced by Rodney Dangerfield, but this is an animated thing, so they were also going to have him look like Rodney Dangerfield.
I
No,
guess.
whenever cartoons do that, if they have
what they
Rodney
do.
Dangerfield, they're gonna give him the Rodney Dangerfield
Rodney
eyes.
Dangerfield.
But is it like all
Oh.
three of the characters are
I
gonna
get
look?
no respect, I tells you.
They did that to him as a mask.
Anyway,
Now I'm just back to the old Scooby-Doo movies, right, where they had a different famous person every week.
yes, yeah.
Pretty
Rodney
much, yeah.
Dangerfield is going to take off his mask later and reveal that he was behind this all along. I don't know how
He's
we
also
want to handle this
Spider-Man.
huge paragraph, but Rai P, you are next. So good luck. Tap out whenever you feel like it.
I mean, technically, the next paragraph's only 2 sentences long, and then it starts a new paragraph. But I'll be a good
Nice.
sport and read the whole next paragraph. Or I could pass it to Todd.
No.
All right, so the first 2 sentences of paragraph 1 says, Spider-Man enters the fray, and quickly the mounted soldiers are put to rout. The heroes then gather around Cheatham and begin asking a dozen questions at once. We'll never know what those questions were because they're not written here. Here we go. This next paragraph is literally a page long, and I don't like.
A lot of it is actually or at least some of it appears to be dialogue for what it's worth. But
I don't know. I think Dave Shooter just didn't know how to do formatting on a typewriter. It seems to be. Cheatham thanks them for their kind intervention and assures them that they're in no danger of being sued. Good.
That's a first.
Yeah. Cheatham speaks in a strange sort of legalese. Where are we? Oh, sorry. Where are we? Spider-Man asks. Okay, I can't do Cheatham's voice. Can somebody just say Manhattan in his like
Manhattan.
Thank you.
We knew it was Truman.
Yeah, I want mutant powers activate. So that's what Cheatham says. Actually, it says actually. It does say that. Actually, he explains they're between Upper Hatton and Lower Hatton in the dematerialized zone. Where all the fighting goes
demilitarized. That seems
militarized.
important.
Oh my god, I'm just thinking Super Mario.
Okay, no,
Brothers,
those
the
are just
movie.
two very different things. The idea that there's like a center part of Manhattan that simply doesn't exist.
Yes,
And that's where they are.
It's not dematerialized.
$1 million.
It's demilitarized. Continue.
Demilitarized. Thank you.
Real estate
Well,
is out of control.
I'm thinking like Bowser with the gun be like, we'll put him at the totem dematerialization mode, and then it's like whatever the fuck they say, and he turns into that tiny dinosaur.
Mhm.
Anyway, let's see.
He thinks
the
it was once
demilitary.
called.
What?
He thinks it was once called Central Park.
Oh, right. Okay. He thinks it was once called Central Park. In response to other questions, Cheatham explains and is somewhat. Is that even a word?
Obfuscatory.
Obfuscatory.
So he's obfuscating, meaning he's
Yes.
talking around the point. This
I've
is
never
this
really
is
seen
really
it
Jim
used this
Shooter.
way.
Mwah.
Yeah.
Love these words, my
Okay.
friend.
Good job, Jim Shooter. I'm glad
A
that
plus shit, bro.
it's too bad this never got turned into a movie.
Fucking spelling bee.
All right. He explains that this is the future, that all history officially ended with the coming of the Great Disaster, also known as COVID-19.
Oof.
Why
Why don't we
He's not
stop you
too
there
real.
and pass the mic to Righty?
Okay.
He's not sure what that was, since no one kept a history of it.
Grim.
Yeah, I know, right? He thinks it had something to do with casino gambling and frozen yogurt. Anyway,
What the fuck?
What?
That
Actually-
seems about as willing to be the end of the world as anything else, honestly.
Why not?
yeah,
Sure.
why not? Anyway, civilization has come down to two feudal states, Upper Hatton and Lower Hatton, respectively governed by the Queen of Fire and the Witch Queen. They
That
are
would
at
be
war,
Cher
of
and
course.
Donna Summer, right? Or no, Donna Summer and Cher,
Ooh.
respectively.
Yes,
Right.
yes. They are at war, of course. The Dazzler asks why, but at the moment, Tristan cautiously steps out from behind a statue where he was hiding and asks if the soldiers are gone yet. It seems that Tristan is the one the soldiers were really after. Which side? Bitey inquires. Both, says Tristan, sighing. Oh, sorry. Both. Before that line of questioning can be pursued, Iron Man asks the important questions. Who brought them here? How? And why? Cheatham has a theory. He figures that Lord Chaos, a mysterious Oz-like being of great power, brought them here. Why? Because it's written that someday a Sun Queen will come with her invincible knights to unite the two queendoms of Manhattan.
The Queen.
Dazzler. What did I say?
No, you
No,
said
yeah,
it right. We're just
Oh, okay,
saying
okay.
queendom
He was just-
because it's
he
fun
was
to
just
say.
repeating.
This is a word I'm going to start using every day now, especially here at the Mutant Ages. I'll
Yeah,
be like,
queendoms.
yeah, whenever we're
pretty
like,
cool.
yeah.
The implications.
Yeah, queendoms of Manhattan. We're gonna
I mean,
unite 'em.
also, Tristan just said he plays on both sides, like he's bisexual, so why not?
Yeah,
um,
sure.
Right
I mean,
right on.
Robin Williams, completely believable. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh,
throwing that out there.
True.
Yep.
Do you want
Dazzler
to
with
pass
her-
the mic? I mean, it's
Oh, I
fine if
can
you don't.
finish up
All right,
this.
all right.
Yeah,
Keep
we're
going.
almost at the
Keep
end
going.
of this paragraph.
Yeah, Dazzler with her light powers is obviously the Sun Queen.
Obviously.
Who wrote this prophecy? Iron Man asks. Lord Chaos, of course, Cheatham replies. No one else can write.
Pause
During-
for laugh track.
Yeah. During this entire scene, it is obvious that Tristan thinks Dazzler is the cat's pajamas.
Oh
Who
my
the fuck
god, I
wrote
haven't
that?
heard that in years.
A brief moment.
Meow.
Cat's pajamas. So good.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's
Keep
cool.
going.
He should be making eyes, etc., and is almost, excuse me, almost worshipful. Whoa, worshipful when Cheatham suggests that she's the Sun Queen. She's cool, but clearly flattered. He's cute.
So wait,
Who's-
Robin
who-
Williams is
who's
the love
determining who's
interest?
cute?
I think
Okay.
she is. All right,
Okay.
sure, I'll take it.
I mean,
Sure.
to be fair, Robin Williams in '79 would have
Adorable. Yeah.
Yeah.
been. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
think
was
he
the
would have
baby
been.
then.
He was a good-looking dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
I think
in-
of him as like the fatherly comic relief because that's what he was when I was a child.
Yeah, he
but-
was born in '51. He would have been 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So he was still in he was still in Mork and Mindy territory
You're right.
Yeah.
back
Mhm.
then when he was kind of like the dorky cute boy next door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's Katie's turn, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kitty, there you go. Welcome.
Suddenly, the gathering is attacked from two sides. From the north come fire-grabbed, unicorn-mounted warriors. Good lord.
She-Ra's
Spearmen. and spearmen in chariots made from old VWs.
What in the
It's
hell?
Mad Max.
Volkswagen.
It really is Mad Max, but like a gay She-Ra take on Mad Max.
And there's lizards.
And
I'm
there's
here
lizard
for it.
men. From the
Oh,
south,
yep.
From the south come the same dark lizard-mounted warriors who were after Tristan before, but this time with reinforcements. They have lizard-drawn battle wagons made from old Datsun pickup trucks.
Honestly, at least they're making good use of all this old equipment lying around. I don't know
That's
what about
okay,
the unicorns though.
for the
Where the hell did
record-
they come from?
Right? The unicorn.
Yeah,
has-
unicorns just
lizards-
evolved.
The lizards don't get that, but the unicorns, so you're just
Yo,
like, well,
huge
giant
lizards are
in
real,
Mad Max
okay?
Makes total sense.
Huge rideable lizards, we see that every day. But unicorns,
Yeah, but
that's
I
not real.
figured they-
That's not real.
I figured they just came down from Mars or whatever. The unicorns must have flown in from somewhere else. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Onward.
And for the record, because they're ancient and they don't make them anymore, Datsun pickup trucks were tiny. Like a
Mm.
Datsun pickup
so
truck
are
is not the
VW
size of like a
bugs.
Ford truck. Yes. Okay, but they might have been like VW vans, right?
Yeah,
The,
I guess
like,
that's true. I guess that's
the
true.
ones that
I
hippies
was,
slept
I
in.
was picturing VW bugs for what it's worth.
No,
But-
I agree. I think that's what they were.
Yep.
But,
Anyway,
like, we have a visual reference for a Volkswagen Bug like now. Like
Yes.
VW Bugs now are still relatively small. Datsun pickup trucks, there's nothing like them anymore.
yeah.
They were little itty bitty, tiny little things.
It's your turn, Todd.
Oh, good. Sorry.
You get 2 lines.
Hooray. I'll take both the paragraphs. Jeez, I'm not that girl. A ferocious battle ensues. Both sides seem to want Tristan, and woe be to those who seek to protect him.
So it's like all the girls, the boys are like, we want to.
We want him. No, we
fuck
do.
him.
The
And then
lizards
say,
want to
"Tell me
fuck him.
more,
The
tell me
unicorns
more."
want to fuck him.
This
Oh, God.
this completely in my brain is like the crazy cool snap off between gangs in West Side Story,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
where there's
Yeah.
like
No
lizard
dialogue,
gang
just
on one side and the
dancing.
unicorn gang on the
Oh,
other side.
I went a much gayer route, and I'm thinking like the opening of Grease, when they're like, "Tell me more, tell me more."
I'm not gonna get to quantifying which is gayer.
Yeah,
West
I
Side
wasn't
Story
gonna get
or
into
Grease.
that.
Yeah.
But West Side Story is quite homoerotic.
Oh,
I mean, what musical is like really straight? Let's be real.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Camelot. Anyhow, the Avengers. Look at the face, man. He's making it right now. The Avengers, Spidey, and the Dazzler, trademark, are hard pressed. In the midst of the battle, Cheatham confers with Tristan like a lawyer whispering advice to his client. The chaos of battle is left an escape route for them. Unseen by anyone but Tristan, who grimaces as if in pain, Cheatham clonks Dazzler on the head from behind.
What?
Okay. Whoa.
Taken out by lawyer. Okay. He and Tristan then slip away. Tristan tenderly carrying the unconscious Dad. Oh God. Oh God.
So I'm gonna let y'all know that Dazzler really doesn't do much in this script, and she mostly is just like, even though it's called Dazzler the movie, it's mostly her like falling down and like being unconscious for most of the movie.
Boo.
Cool. Just like aliens constantly kidnapping Aurora to be their
Yeah,
queen.
pretty much.
Messed up.
The Avengers and Spider-Man, taken by surprise by vastly superior numbers, are ultimately defeated, and then they disappear for the rest of the movie. The lizard riders of the witch Ween.
It says we.
It does say Ween.
what the
Go with
fuck?
me.
Why are you saying that? And then I looked.
Witch
I don't
ween.
know.
Witch
Witch
ween.
ween.
Witch ween.
The Witch Wing capture is Spider-Man, Iron Man, and this guy with Witch. Oh God.
Is there
Okay.
more to this?
Well, the fiery forces of the Queen of Fire, which I guess makes sense, capture the Beast, the Wasp, and the Falcon. So they're furries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the
All
plan.
three
They
furries are
kick everyone
kidnapped.
who's got a "the" in front of their name, except for Dazzler, because the Dazzler trademark was kidnapped by
Donna
Tristan.
Summer?
Okay, by Donna. Sure.
I can't keep
Why
track of which one's which. But
Okay, I
sure.
think
I
Queen
really
of
can't.
Fire. Queen of Fire captured all the furries, all three furries. Tristan and Cheatham captured Dazzler, and then Cher is left to have captured Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Wanda. I don't know
Okay.
why
Yes.
that's who Cher wants, but maybe we'll find out.
Maybe
I don't
she and
know.
Wanda have a duet. I don't know.
I know
Content
it
with
is.
these unusual captives, both forces cautiously withdraw, regarding
I-
each other suspiciously. Which again, I'm just eyes pointing at their eyes, pointing at the other one's eyes, pointing at their
Yeah.
eyes. Pointing at the
Also,
other one's
I'm also
eyes.
just envisioning Cher capturing and locking up Robert Downey Jr. and be like, just singing in his face, "Do you believe?"
Listen, Totally Not Mr. Sinister has a question in chat, which is, was this meant to be a musical? Which seems like an important question to me. Like, surely it must have been, right? But there's nothing here that says that songs are
I
happening.
mean, it was going to be an animated movie, right?
Right,
So
but
anything
also
was
they should have
possible.
put in songs with to have all these professional musicians on the docket, and it's a record company
Right.
that's producing this, so I
The
can only assume.
The Xena and Hercules animated movie was a musical, so why couldn't this be?
I'm
was a
assuming it
thing.
is. I'm assuming it is. Anyway, I think I'm next.
Yes, you are.
After all have left the battle site, an ominous, shadowy, not quite clear image of Lord Chaos appears, shimmering darkly in the air. He laughs evilly. Why wasn't this
It's
Mr.
Mr.
Sinister?
Sinister.
Okay, great. I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Did
This
we
is
all just
Mr.
scream that
Sinister.
at the same time? We're like,
Pretty
it's
much.
just Mr. Sinister.
I'll keep reading at least the beginning of this.
Wait,
Next
who's supposed
page.
to be playing Lord Chaos? Now I'm looking it up because I don't remember.
Rodney
It's
Dangerfield
Rodney
as well.
Dangerfield.
Yes,
That's
he
right.
has
Oh,
so many
wow.
roles because
I don't
sure.
know why that's happening. All right, maybe they explain it, or maybe they don't. Who knows?
Who knows?
Soon, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and the Scarlet Witch awaken to find themselves in the throne room of the Witch Queen, Cher.
Da-da-da!
They are in heavy chains. Around them, they see lots of armed guards. Before them, on a throne carved with mystic images, sits the Queen herself. Nearby stands her counselor, Dewey, who looks a lot like Cheatham, except that he wears a different colored suit and tie and glasses. Also nearby is the Queen's jester, Lenny, who is not funny. Not at all,
that's
though he
important to
tries
know.
and tries. I don't know why that's the case. I feel like I don't understand this part because
I
these are the
bet you
characters I
when
don't
we
know.
get to the I bet you when we get to the throne room of the Sun Queen, she will have the Queen's jester Squiggy, who is
Yeah.
also
Not funny.
not funny.
But like when you
Right.
put them together, they are or they're not. I don't know.
No, I doubt it.
Off to one side stand the Queen's Imperial Guard, the Dread Knights, aka KISS. The
Yes.
captured heroes see that they are in what once was Windows of the World. Okay, clearly I need to pass the mic. Atop the one
a wine
remaining tower of the World Trade Center.
Oh
no.
Oh boy.
Okay, but like, it's not like he knew what was gonna happen. to the
Ryan,
World
yes, he
Trade
did.
Center.
Why did he write this? Okay.
Thank you for the idea that Jim Shooter could see 9/11 in 1979. It was like, but
Yeah.
wouldn't it be cool if Cher ruled the one tower that
Oh, yeah.
stood up?
Right.
my God.
Right. Okay. Also, I'm gonna point out that it makes. I would believe that Kiss would be here because isn't Kiss interdimensional?
Are you
in
playing Cher
general?
right now? Is
Yes,
that what I'm
he
hearing?
is.
Okay, yeah,
Yes, he
okay.
is.
I'm just clarifying that Cher's happening.
I'll
right
stop
now.
it. Okay, but it's like Kiss in general. Their whole shtick is that they're like interdimensional alien people.
Sure,
right?
sure,
So,
sure.
like,
And Cher
so,
is
like, I
also
feel like-
interdimensional. I don't know if that's part of her shtick or not, but it's just kind of a fact about her. So
I
yeah.
don't know, but I don't think that's the case of Donna Summer, right? Is it?
It could be.
I guess it
don't
is
know.
now.
They all are now, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll keep reading. I don't know, whatever. Many of the buildings and streets are gone or in ruins, but many remain. Everything has obviously gone back to medieval technology levels, though. Obviously, there's
What the
no
hell does that
electricity,
mean?
no
Also,
cars.
really is no
Hold on. What
electricity.
is? There's obviously medieval technology levels. Like what technology?
So nothing. There's no
The catapult?
electricity.
I just imagine them picking up like a fucking like
like a
brick, and they're-
flail. Yeah.
they're picking up their brick and they're like,
trebuchet.
check out my sweet new iPhone. And
Well,
they're
they don't
like,
know what an iPhone is anymore because
Oh
they've
my
all
God, you're
forgotten
right.
everything.
I can't believe
Yeah,
this.
no,
This
Oh my
is-
God.
This is totally Thundar the Barbarian, and I'm losing my mind over that.
It's also
It is.
kind
Oh my
of
God,
Mad
it is.
Max.
And then the
That is-
moon like
okay,
cracks in
but-
half, and then everything turns to
Yeah.
shit.
Also,
Yeah.
Thunder of the Barbarian's a great show. I loved that show.
It
was
was
really
good.
good.
All right.
Anyway.
Surprisingly good.
There's no electricity, no cars except for those drawn by lizard horses. There's a wall along
Awesome.
Wall Street protecting the Witch Queen's inner stronghold, and
That shouldn't
another
be so
wall.
funny, but it is.
Get it? Wall Street's a fucking wall now. There's another wall at the edge of her queendom along 59th Street. They are fascinated and horrified. I assume they refers to Tony and Peter and Wanda. I don't know. Well,
guess.
says Dewey, the Queen asked what you are. Can't you speak? The three captives turn towards the Queen, and the Scarlet Witch replies somewhat arrogantly, I am the Scarlet Witch, and I do not appreciate being held captive. With that, her hex power crackles around her chains and they crumble away in shards. I was just thinking to
Wow.
myself, well, Wanda, you could do something about it. And she was thinking the same thing.
But
She
they
finally
actually
did
let
it.
her do that instantly.
I actually
She's-
like that for her. She would probably
This
do
is the
this.
first character in the entire fucking script who's done
Wanda's
anything at
entire
all.
response
Right?
Yeah.
is to look Cher in the face and go, bitch, no.
No, just a big no on all of this. Iron Man follows suit, snapping his chains with a shrug, while Spider-Man, who isn't quite as strong, struggles, grunts, groans, and finally breaks
what?
free.
Hold
How
on,
is he
why
capable of breaking metal anyway? But sure.
But how did Iron Man get through the shackles?
Because
With a
he's solar
shrug?
powered.
He was
He's
like,
He's
like
powered by
a
the sun.
calculator.
Actually, really, what it was is that Tony's like, I'm really good at getting out of handcuffs. I'm used to this in bed. And Spider-Man's
Cool.
like, help, guys! I can do science, but I can't do this.
The
Anyway.
witch, the witch queen is
Webs
not
are my only
impressed.
power.
The witch queen is not impressed. She, after all, also has magical powers. She asks them to further demonstrate their powers, which they do. She then asks Dewey for advice about what to do with these folks.
What did they do? Like,
I
what's
don't
this
know.
scene?
I feel like
What
this
is
show
this
is
scene?
longer than a
It really
30-minute
took me at
animated
the end of
special. By
Wanda
the
just
way.
like
Yeah.
Wanda just like turns to somebody and frowns and he explodes.
Wanda's like, oh, you want to see my powers?
You wanna see what
Disintegrates
my powers
everyone.
can do, huh? She just like blinks somebody out of existence.
What it actually turns out is at the end of this film, Wanda, it's just like Wanda having another mental breakdown. And
Yeah,
she,
this
like,
was all
imagines
her
this whole
doing. She was just like
situation.
listening to a best of the 80s record and like having
Yeah.
a bad day.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Witch Queen thinks they should be destroyed. After all, they could be the Knights of Lord Chaos's prophecy, and she doesn't want her power usurped by some Sun Queen. Dewey feels that they're not the people of the prophecy, however. He advises the Queen to send them to the dungeon, pending an investigation,
Oh
a committee
my God.
report, joint hearings, and a revised report, etc. Lawyer jokes! The Witch
Oh
Queen
my God.
agrees, and with that, the heroes decide to make a break for it. The Dead Knights leap forward to do battle with them, using their already established KISS cosmic superpowers. Wow. Which
Okay,
are...
I said this. I'm just gonna.
I
read them
know.
now.
Go ahead,
Because
Ryan.
Yeah.
I'll pass
okay,
it
so
on over to you.
Gene Simmons, the demon, super strength, ability to breathe fire. This is legit.
Yeah,
This
no,
is, like,
I know.
part of
This
their
is
whole
real.
shtick.
This is really
Right.
what Gene Simmons
These
can
are
do in
their
real life.
real powers. By the way, there's like a Scooby-Doo Kiss movie that you can watch, and I like.
I know,
watch
I've
it.
seen it. It's amazing.
It's like I don't know how that happened, but I love every second.
The
of it.
same way that this happened,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And also, I can't believe that you also saw Maddie. Like,
Yeah, I love
what?
Scooby Doo. Anyway, keep going.
You and I like did not talk about that. Okay. Anyway, we'll save that for the Patreon. Paul Stanley, the Star Child, fires rays from his starred eyes. Ace Frehley, the Space Ace, can teleport short distances and pass phantom-like through solid objects.
So
And
he's Kitty
Pete-
and Nightcrawler.
Yeah, and Peter Chris, the cat, has cat-like agility and speed. And I'll just go ahead and read this next little bit. Stunned by the... Hold on, I forgot that. I'm going to move it over here in front of me on this monitor. Stunned by the unexpectedly powerful resistance, the Avengers are monetarily forced back. I think it's supposed to say momentarily.
Momentarily.
It's
It doesn't.
momentarily.
It says
I read it as
momentarily?
it-
Oh, it
Momentarily.
is. It's momentarily.
Right.
I heard you say
Uh,
monetarily and was like,
Me too.
wow.
They've been forced back to sell
By
it.
finances.
Because
was like-
Tony's money is in another dimension.
Well, I was trying to figure
Tony's like, I ran out of supplies, everybody. Do you take a check?
I'm
Oh.
not rich here. What does that mean for me?
Wait, shit,
Oh my
Wall
God.
Street's a wall. Fuck.
Oh my god.
Good
Suddenly
stuff.
they freeze, immobilized, for they have stepped into a specially prepared mystic circle and thus fallen prey to the witch's queen's own powers. Now, I don't understand why Wanda can't just get out of that.
Yeah,
but
that
maybe-
seems easy as fuck. But I guess we're supposed to believe Cher is more powerful
It's
than...
not her show. Wanda has
Oh,
to
no,
kind
a
of be in the
witch.
background.
I don't know,
no.
It's like Cher's just walking around in the background being Agatha Harkness at this point.
Yes,
Yeah.
apparently so. Righty, your turn.
Oh yeah, sorry. Stunned by the sorry, that's him. Okay. Meanwhile, far uptown, in what was the Metropolitan Museum of Art, a similar scene is enacted as the Beast, the Falcon, and the Wasp.
The Wasp.
It actually says
Are-
the Wasp, but go
The
on.
what?
Oh shit!
It does say the.
the Wasp.
Trademark.
Okay, are brought before the Queen of Fire and her court. Excuse me, which includes her personal royal guard, the Stompers, her totally unfunny jester, Squiggy,
Called it.
You called it, Todd. You
Nice.
called it. You called it.
and her counselor, Hal, who looks a bit like Dewey and Cheatham.
Oh,
Did you call that
I'm
too?
so exhausted by
I mean,
this
I didn't.
already.
But I'm pretty sure we all saw that coming.
Yeah.
Oh
Like, he
my
looks
god.
suspiciously, he's wearing a
And
red
he looks
tie.
a lot
Apparently,
like
every
Rodney
lawyer in the
He looks like
Dangerfield.
that
apocalyptic
other
future-
guy.
Every lawyer in the apocalyptic future is Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Mhm.
That's fine.
What is this like commentary that's being made, by the way, where they're just like,
Yeah,
in
what?
this
I think this was just like.
apocalypse future, it's been taken over by evil lawyers and witches.
I
But-
strongly get the impression that Lord Chaos, trademark, is the real bad guy, and that Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe are like
His lawyers. Get it?
minions who are slowly manipulating these two queens into eternal war so that he can. I don't fucking know. This theory fell apart.
I don't know. I
But-
like it. I
Yeah,
like it.
what-
I feel like it's going somewhere, but we
Are
don't
you
know
saying
what's going to
someone
happen.
with the name
Yeah.
Lord Chaos could be a bad guy?
I know.
I
Uh,
don't know.
I thought his
It
name was
doesn't
Lord.
seem like it now.
Wait,
but
but what if
just-
his name's? What if his name's actually just Lord Chouse, and we're reading it wrong?
What if he's just really into Sonic Adventure?
It's Chaos. Excuse me. It's Greek.
Knuckles knows where where Lord Chaos is.
I'm
He's
sorry,
here. He'll let us
Katie.
know.
I'm sorry. You can blame me for that one. I
Okay.
put it in his head. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
It's already there, Todd.
Always
You don't
in
need
his
to
head.
put it there. Like
The only
I,
Yeah, it's always there. It's always there.
I literally okay. We were just recording an episode yesterday in which I cited Sonic Adventure 3 separate times. So like, don't worry about that.
Nice.
God.
Okay, fine. It's not my fucking fault. I blame you.
Thank you. I will take blame.
This has been years in the coming.
Yeah. Okay, meanwhile, far uptown. Oh, sorry. I did it again. Jesus Christ.
Ow.
All right. Where
What?
the hell was I anyway? How?
After approximately-
the
something
same
lawyers.
sequence of events as
After
occurred in the Witch Queen's digs, really. The three heroes are subdued by paralyzing mystic flames sent forth by the Queen of Fire.
Oh.
The
Oh, wait.
Stompers. What?
Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm just so is this
So the
is
Stompers
this-
are the village people, by the way.
No, I don't. Okay, great. But is it so? So is this Fire Queen Donna Summer?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
is she that because her most famous song is Hot Stuff?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I just-
thought
And I
it
feel
was
like
her
she
look.
also doesn't she have other like disco heat themed
Yeah.
songs as well besides that
I thought
one?
it was because her last name was Summer.
That doesn't hurt. I mean, I'm just
I
I'm
mean-
just saying
Whatever.
we're burning up, you know.
Yeah.
It's on fire.
Now I'm going to Google Donna Summer's discography while you keep going.
Huh.
Here we go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, please read the village people monikers and powers
Yes.
powers.
Yeah.
The Stomper village people, like the Dread Knights, have awesome powers, as follows. The motorcycle cop has a nightstick that's charged with crackling energy. They already
And
are.
it?
The construction worker has a jackhammer that can create small earthquakes.
Honestly, pretty awesome.
Earthquake.
Yeah, pretty
The
gay so
cowboy.
far.
The cowboy twirls an unbreakable lasso that he controls as if it were alive, kind of like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
The Indian has a tomahawk, which is not racist at all, that cuts through anything.
Yeah. Sure,
The
don't worry about it.
GI. The GI has a sidearm that fires mystic, fiery, laser-like blasts.
Because we can't show bullets on a children's animated special.
It is
The
gargoyles.
GI has a gun, but don't worry about it.
It's a laser.
And the
gun.
Leatherman bear is super strong
The
and wields an
Leatherman!
unbreakable chain that he ties
Oh my
with
god! The
Okay,
S&M
Maybe-
man.
I have a question. Like,
I have
this isn't
so
a
many
question, so much of
questions.
this is more of a statement. But if there was a way to make the village people even more gayer than they were before, is to give
Right.
them extra gay powers
and
is
have
what's
them
happening.
serve Donna Summer, Queen of Fire.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, like, come on.
Yeah, I love it.
All I can see in my head now is Hank turning to Janet and going, "Janet, why did you take me to a gay steel mill?"
And Jan just being
mean-
like, "It's fashion, honey. It's fashion. I love this. This is my world. I know it's not in my backstory here, but
Queen, slay,
I
Khaleesi.
I don't really understand. Like Jim Shooter wasn't gay, right? Like, where's this coming from? I thought
I
he was
don't
kind of
know.
like
Maybe he was.
No.
Listen, it was
Ryan,
1979. Everybody was at least trying some stuff, right?
Ryan,
Yeah.
think about it.
True.
How many straight men do you know who, in their attempts to not be gay at all, have completely circled back around to the other side by mistake and are just extremely fucking gay?
Oh,
Because
so you mean,
everything that they try to do to be straight ends up being hella gay because they're trying too hard.
like a part, like including when they take it up the ass for men, right?
Mhm.
We're talking about a real Gaston situation here. So
I really treasure the face that Truman was making at his camera when I was explaining all that, by the way.
I was racking my brain. I was like, do I know people like that?
It's
And I
do I
actually
know
do.
something like that? Okay, is it just me? Well, fine. But I know straight men like that, so just saying.
I mean,
I
don't
think
know.
I think
feel
it's
like
your turn,
it-
Todd, by the way.
Look, Todd, you have.
we already-
Oh,
Katie read the Stompers.
She read through the village people? Okay, cool.
yeah.
Cut to the ruins of the tavern on the green in the I was about
Dematerialized
to fuck that up. The
zone.
dematerialized zone.
No.
Our Dazzler awakens to find herself alone with Mork. What happened? She asks. Tristan mutters something about a stray war club thumping on the back of the head, mentions that the others were captured, and segues into wooing her again.
What the fuck, dude? Like,
Oof.
do you have
Sure.
anything? Like, come on, calm down.
Why not?
Put it back in the pants.
Oh, fuck. Where was I? She's still confused, and all she wants is to go rescue her friends. Tristan insists that there's not important that can be done for now, but that Cheatham is working on it. She protests, but he kisses her. Oh, without consent? Not sure I'm into
But
it.
slowly she
But she
decides she's
really
into
is
it.
because she begins to respond.
It's the
From
70s,
behind-
guys. There's a lot of shit going on.
From
Yup.
behind a battered counter, we see that Cheatham is observing, underlined, this. He is
Observing
pleased. Cheatham is pleased.
Why
He
is
makes an-
observing underlined? Hold on.
I
Why
don't
does
know.
They don't.
it? It's the
I
only.
think it's just supposed to
time-
emphasize how fucking creepy lawyer number 3 is.
He's
I
doing
guess.
this the whole time.
Well, okay, it says he makes an
Uh,
okay sign to Tristan, so like, you know what okay sign, right? Like we make an O with your
Yeah.
pointer and thumb, and then you spread your. Right? Okay, I don't have a camera, guys. I'm sorry.
I'm doing it. Can you not see me?
Yes! What
Yeah.
Maddie is doing. Yes, that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, the script was over you. I apologize.
Okay.
Where the hell am I? To Tristan,
I
who
don't
can see
know.
Cheatham, though Dazzler cannot. Tristan continues flattering and seducing Dazzler. Now he knows, underlined, she is the Sun Queen, for he has known her in his dreams, etc.,
Jesus.
etc. He is fated, it is written, to love the Sun Queen. He loves her, ergo, she must be the Sun Queen. This
So the
logic
Matrix.
is totally foolproof.
Totally.
Nothing about this could go terribly fucking wrong at any minute.
Doesn't this shit happen to like Aurora on a regular basis, where like
Yeah.
aliens show up and
Yeah.
they're like you can control the planet's weather.
She's
You're
a
the
beautiful
Sun Queen."
goddess.
You
Yeah.
must be the god. She's just like, oh my god, I just want to
Except
go
that in
home.
this scenario, I'm pretty sure Dazzler's going for it. Unlike
Yeah,
Aurora,
yeah.
who's usually like, I got somewhere to be.
Well, okay, I think Aurora was probably
70s?
into it the first time, but like the 17th time, she was probably like, fuck this, please. I'm not your goddess. I just want to go home. Anyhow, she's ready to believe him. She wants, underlined, to be the Sun Queen, ... for Tristan. At this point, Cheatham, quote, enters. He has bad news. Both queens have decided.
What the hell? Why
He
is
pretends he's coming
Okay.
back from having
Yes, he
talked to the
pretends
queens,
he's
but he's
coming back.
lying.
Okay, he's
Oh,
totally pulling a
okay.
Mr. Sinister. He was
That's
behind
okay.
a counter filming it all.
Yes.
And then when it's time to make a big gay entrance, he's like, hey, I was here the whole time.
He's
I'm-
twirling around with his cape. Got it.
Didn't see you
Here's
there.
bad news. Both queens have decided, against their counselor's advice, to execute their captives. Oh no, says the Dazzler trademark. What can we do? Alas, nothing, says Cheatham, but fear not, for you are the Sun Queen of prophecy, and it must be fulfilled. Those things don't actually have anything to do with each other in any way whatsoever.
I'm really
Okay.
confused. Does the "it must be fulfilled" refer to the deaths of every other major character? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Does that mean the execution must be fulfilled? Okay. Is it my turn again? I think it is.
I think it is.
Cut to the dungeon of the Witch Queen. Actually, it's the Federal Reserve Vault. Okay. Spider-Man, the Scarlet Witch, and Iron Man are held helplessly in mystic bonds. Their hour of execution approaches. Outside the cell, on a hook
No.
on the wall, the keys to their bonds hang. With great difficulty, Spider-Man manages to snag the keys with his webbing and pull them in. He frees himself and is releasing the Scarlet Witch when suddenly they hear footsteps coming. Why now, when they have a chance? Spider-Man flattens against the wall above the door, ready to clobber the approaching guard. But it isn't a guard, it's Cheatham! He guides them out, gives them directions to the tavern on the green, and then he heads back towards the Witch Queen's palace. I'm sorry, I don't understand what any of this is.
I don't know what's happening.
This is so. Just Spider-Man sees him coming. He's just like, "Hello, little boy. I am the completely trustworthy lawyer Cheatham. Here's a place you can newly go with your freedom. That is absolutely, positively not a goddamn fucking trap. You fucking dumb fuck."
I can't keep any of the lawyers straight or like who they're associated with at this point.
They're all the same guy, so
they're all the same guy, and they're all Lord Chaos probably. Anyway,
probably.
Ryp, it's you.
Okay, hold on. I have to move this back over to the screen. Okay,
wow,
so I
we're
guess I'll
almost
do
done.
these two pieces. Meanwhile, similar events occur in the Queen of Fire's dungeon. Cheatham frees the captured heroes. Cut to the throne room of the Witch Queen. Dewey reports that the captives have escaped. I was like confused for a second. It must be the doing of the Queen of Fire. He suggests an all-out confrontation. The Witch Queen herself should lead her Dread Knights and her army into a final vengeful battle, and she agrees. Meanwhile, How is advising the Queen of Fire similarly to gather with her troops and her stompers in No Man's Land to settle with the Witch Queen for once and for all. Both queens express great dislike for one another, and the name Tristan is mentioned often.
So is he like both of their exes or something?
Yes, that's exactly. Oh my god, that's the thing that just came into my head, is that they were both fucking Robin Williams, but he doesn't like either of them, and now they want to kill each other over it.
And now he's fucking this new queen who's going to unite the entire kingdom and get rid of these other two pesky queens.
But it's also like Robin Williams, so he's like making jokes along the way, like this whole war's happening. It's like they're both mad at him, and he's just like, "Here's my joke."
I have a really hard time envisioning him wooing anybody, as was foretold.
Any single time that we're like, "Oh, Robin Williams is wooing somebody," I'm just imagining him coming in as Mrs. Doubtfire and be like, "Hello,
hello." Yeah, I just picture him as like the genie and being like, "Bada bing, bada boom. What do we say, ladies?" Like I can't.
Actually, you know, it would make more sense if Donna Summer and Cher show up and Robin Williams dons the Mrs. Doubtfire clothing. He's like, "Oh, Tristan's not here."
That actually would make about as much sense as anything else. Actually. Oh boy.
Okay.
Righty.
My turn.
Enjoy.
Cut to the tavern. Oh, thanks. Cut to the tavern as the former captives arrive.
There's
All
a
are
tavern?
astonished. I guess.
It's a tavern on the green.
It's a tavern on the green, and the demilitarized.
My bad.
Central Park.
I'm sorry I questioned it. We're all familiar. Go on.
Yes. All are astonished that Cheatham is there, ahead of them, in quotes. But he cuts them off before they can compare notes.
Oh.
Wait, so they like turn to each other and they're like, "Wait," and
and he's like, "Okay. Listen up. Don't worry about it."
Important information. All right. He tells them that the ultimate battle is impending, and the only way that they can bring peace to the land by trashing the other two armies. Why was that in there?
Because clearly he's wrong. He's just like, it's fine. There's two queens. They're coming. You have to kill them both. Don't worry about it.
Right, because all of this is a trick. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
thank God Todd is here.
Like the narrator being like, "Bye."
Look, it's also Jim Shooter himself being like, "Does this make any sense?" I don't.
I hope Jim Shooter wasn't actually narrating this in this cartoon. Can you imagine if his voice was just being like Jim Shooter just came in over, like, voice over the scenes and be like, "And then they went over to this scene," and we're like,
and then Cheatham died going back to his home planet.
yeah, exactly.
I'm glad that I can really put that expensive 6 years of media studies PhD to use.
That's the only way we'll understand the script.
I don't think that will help.
It probably won't.
But that's the shadiest thing I can say, right? Is that like I have a literal PhD in this and I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
I'm really confused.
So
good to know.
Just saying.
No, yeah, that actually does.
Who does know? Like, nobody knows. This doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm
Go
at
for
the point where this script is starting to hurt my head a little bit, where I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't really follow what's happening
Well,
anymore.
good news. This is page 11 of 14.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
we're
getting
almost done.
we're coming up to the final battle where
The
all
final
3 armies.
30 seconds of this
I
3-minute.
Wait, I have a
fucking-
question. No,
This is
legitimately,
a full-length movie. Like, Ryan, I get why you thought that this was a pitch for a full-length movie, because like this is enough plot. It's not good.
No, it's not good. But I
It's-
do have an actual question for at least Maddie and Rye, because Todd wasn't there for this. So that time I made everybody sit down to read the script for D2, were you guys as annoyed with it as I am?
Oh
right now?
yeah, absolutely. And we told you that at the time.
Rye's face is too good.
I
Right.
don't know
I
if
mean,
I spoke up.
I feel like
I
we
think
were
I was
like,
just like, I'm just here. I'm glad to be included.
It's just like, I was thinking it. I didn't say it.
oh my
It'd be funny
god.
if like everyone's like, I don't know, we're not gonna ask that question. Todd's like, yeah, I was really annoyed about it at the time.
also, it was D2,
Yes.
so I had missed one, so I assumed there was going to be a bunch of stuff that I like.
Well, D-Man had a better read through because like there were only like 4 of us involved, not
It was
12,
also way
so-
shorter and simpler, but D2 was purposefully more complicated. Anyway,
Right.
why are we talking about that now?
Because
Yeah,
it always
sorry.
comes back to that. That's our whole life, D-Man, right there.
Yeah, true. Okay, excuse me. Nearly
Sorry.
convinced that she is the Sun Queen, and since peace seems like a good cause, Dazzler leads the Avengers and Spidey off to the fray. Why don't they just say the Avengers? He was part of the Avengers.
I don't know.
And like,
Was
because I
it,
guess
like,
he wasn't in
Avengers with
1970.
Spider-Man?
Okay, in 1979, I get the impression that Peter was still just like, I'm 12
child?
years old and
Yeah.
I'm a superhero.
He was
Yeah.
still
Can I
new,
go with you
wasn't
guys?
Yeah, I think he was still new, and he would like sometimes work with the Avengers, but they didn't know he was a teenager, I think, as I've read some of
Yeah.
those.
Ah,
And
right,
they
right,
didn't
right.
know his true identity, and he was disguising himself as an adult with
Right on.
normal
Yeah, it
adult
says.
problems.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I'm
was
reading.
cute.
But while both Spider-Man and Avengers comics have been in publication since the early 1960s, Spider-Man didn't officially accept his membership on the team until 2004's The New Avengers.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So it's very recent.
That's
Wow, that was
wild.
after
I wouldn't
Civil
call
War,
2004 recent, but I guess it's more recent than like,
Comparative.
1979?
It's-
Yeah.
yeah.
62, Brian.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Frickin- Yeah, okay, so Cheatham follows far behind, gleefully rubbing his hands. Ooh. Chortling to
He's putting on hand sanitizer. He's like, I was getting this lotion. He's like, I just
Yeah.
got to put on this
Yeah, don't worry
lotion.
about
I'm not
it.
doing
Don't-
anything evil. Oh.
chortling to Tristan that everything's going to be going just perfectly. Tristan is
Okay.
unhappy, though. It seems, well, he really does, underline, love the Dazzler. Quote,
Trademark.
nonsense, says Cheatham. Soon, at the battlefield... Wait, do you want me to stop?
Yes, pass it to Katie.
Okay, Katie.
Yes. Okay. Soon, at the battlefield, Sheep Meadow, the 3 forces face each other. The Witch Queen and the Queen of Fire, because there are so many queens, exchange comments to which how they've been misled by Dewey and Hal respectively. But before anyone can catch on, nervously Dewey, Chatham, and Hal yell, "Charge!" And the battle is joined. Chaos ensues.
But not Lord
it?
Chaos. Just
No.
just
No,
regular
read the next
kind.
word. Lord Chaos then ensues.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
hold on. I have to just interrupt for a second because I wanted to make sure that I had sheep meadow right. I'm like, I was like, that's Central Park, right?
Is
So
it?
like so I Google sheep meadow and you click on the actual link for the official website and it's like sheep meadow, Central Park Conservancy. And the picture that they use is a bunch of like people lying around like in bikinis and bathing suits on the grass. And I don't really know why that was the candid picture they chose to use.
You
but
really
that's
don't
the
know
one.
why, Ryan? You
Don't know why?
really don't know why.
No, I mean you have to see it because like they're not in focus or like near the camera. They're just in the background.
Okay.
Oh,
On
it's
a
also
small
the sheep meadow, according to Google Maps, is a 1-minute walk from Tavern on the Green. So I
Okay.
appreciate the
That's
idea that
actually
Dazzler and
very
everybody just like
realistic.
literally just opened
I mean,
the
he
door.
must have been living
there it
in New York
was.
City at the time, and
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
like,
Clearly.
"These are the places I go to every day, and I'm going to put them in my script."
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Strawberry
Okay.
fields forever.
On a small rise, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe gather, all smiling with evil satisfaction. Only Tristan is upset. Fool, Cheatham says. When we're supreme, you'll share in the spoils. With that, the 3 join hands, and above them in hazy form appears Lord Chaos, their spiritual
you-
essence.
Wow.
Todd fucking called
Called
it.
it.
Lord Chaos is reveling in the awesome confusion and destruction before him.
It's
Also,
Mr.
I think I
Sinister and all his
skipped Todd by
clones.
accident.
That's
Todd,
fine.
you go
Wait,
next.
It's
Yeah,
actually better if someone else reads the thing that I predicted, because then I can go, called it! Like, really loud.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%.
On the battlefield, the Avengers, led by the Dazzler trademark, cut a swath through the ranks of both armies. The Dazzler trademark is trying her best to be the Sun Queen, using the sounds of battle to create a dazzling, disorienting light show beyond any she has ever done. Soon the queens meet face to face to face. Get it? Because there's
Oh
Three of
my
them.
God.
ow.
in the midst of the. I love all of this, like, jazz hands, Mama Chance thing that just went on. I was doing it too, but you can't see it because I don't have a camera. Moving on. In the midst of the warring armies, for a moment, the Queen of Fire and the Witch Queen ignore their hatred of each other to deal with the usurper. Poised for battle, the Queen of Fire pauses long enough to ask the Dazzler trademark why she had to come and usurp their realms. The Dazzler trademark begins to explain that she's the Sun Queen, and well, it is written, but fondly admits that she's just doing this to settle their war, and for Tristan.
Oh, fucking Tristan. That douchebag.
It's your turn to say that, Ryan.
Pretty much what
Okay.
happens, though.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We called this.
Wait, hold on. I lost it. Okay. Tristan! The other two queens scream in unison. Like, I don't know. Tristan! The other two queens scream in unison. Both, of course, were also courted by Tristan. And both, thanks to their counselors, think that the others stole Tristan from them. Oh my god.
Yep, Maddie called it.
Terrible sentence. And
Yep.
that's a large part of the basis of their mutual dislike. The fact that
Always a
Dazzler
bit.
2 is apparently involved with Tristan is the final straw. Both queens lash out at the Dazzler. She manages to avoid being creamed. That's so gross. And starts putting the
Right,
two
T and
two
I both
together.
stare
know,
into our cameras respectively.
I know. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I also like how Dazzler is barely
Very
in this Dazzler movie, and it's mostly just like Cher and Donna Summer screaming at each other.
Over Robin Williams, like you do.
Yeah.
Like you do.
As one does.
Who's got the next sentence?
Right,
Think
T.
me, yeah. Meanwhile, the looming figure of Lord Chaos suddenly stops reveling in the abundant chaos. Not good form to use that twice in a sentence.
Where the fuck is the Scarlet Witch, by the way? What
I love
happened?
how there's small c chaos, which is just shit being confusing, and then
Yeah.
there's capital C chaos, which is Rodney Dangerfield.
The
Cool.
dude,
Also,
yeah.
okay.
Are we gonna really have like Dazzler be the person who takes out a character named Lord Chaos when Scarlet Witch is like the queen
Right.
of controlling
know.
chaos?
Wanda, I
and
think, just
magic? Like,
left at some point. Wanda was like, I'm going to go home because I have the ability to do that.
She like creates a portal, she
Right.
disappears, and Tony's like, "You come." He's like, "Are you taking me with you?" And Wanda's like,
And she's like,
"Nope,
I can't hear
I-"
you.
Wanda's like, I just can't remember who I am anymore. You know.
Who are
I don't
you?
Yeah, I know. I don't think she was that powerful back then, though. She just had like hex magic, so
Yeah,
things
you're
would just happen to
right.
go her way back
You're
then.
right. You're
It
right.
didn't
She
Oh,
was like
right,
need
right.
chaos
lucky.
magic, yeah. Yes,
No, you're
yes.
right. You're right. I've forgotten.
I know.
Okay. Let me just start over again. Meanwhile, the looming figure of Lord Chaos suddenly stops reveling in the abundant chaos and looks worried. Dazzler's catching on. Just when he needs to
Jesus.
absorb just a dab more chaotic energy to become chaos incarnate, capitalized,
Yeah.
a veritable god.
Suddenly, chaos from Sonic Adventure does show up.
Chaos
Oh,
control! Yeah, he'll have to silence her. Should I keep going?
Sure. That was pretty
Okay.
short.
No! Screams Tristan, threatening to smash Cheatham with a big rock.
Oh wow.
You do it and I'll clunk Cheatham.
Okay, this is the second time we've seen Clonk.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
Which
we have to
sounds like
remember
it sounds like a visual sound effect from like a 1970s Batman episode.
Batman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like
Clonk,
it's a thing people are
clonk,
saying
creamed.
out loud. Creamed.
sounds
Whammo.
It sounds
Whammo.
like Bonk's lost and lost brother. That's what it sounds like. You know,
Bonk's
Bonk
Adventure?
And Clonk.
Bonk and Clonk. Yeah,
Bonk and Clonk of the New
Adventure.
Hampshire Clonks.
Like it's like an old old video game Bonk, but if you turn
Yeah,
it to
yeah.
two-player mode, you also play as Clonk. You know,
Mhm.
Sure.
that's how it worked back then. Anyway,
Yeah, sorry. You do it and I'll clunk Cheatham. You still need your mortal bodies till you're done transforming. Lord Chaos swats Tristan aside.
I like how now we're
Oh.
introducing like the lore behind Lord Chaos that we don't
Yes.
need to know because he's not a character
Yeah.
who matters. But it's
Here's
like,
your
okay,
weakness.
his 3 lawyer selves are still needed up until he becomes Chaos incarnate. Like, thanks for the fucking download on that.
Meanwhile,
Anyway,
this
Katie,
turns out
it's
to
your
be like
turn.
a big. This just turns out to be a big fever dream of like Jem when she's having a nightmare.
Layla Miller
It
shows
does
up.
remind me of Jem a lot. I was thinking that
Right?
this whole time.
I mean,
Yes.
that's the vibe I'm getting from this, and I.
The
watch
Misfits
Jem
are
all the
going to show
time.
up any second.
That would make the movie significantly better, though.
Katie?
But on the battlefield, Dazzler, and finally not the Dazzler, has managed to calm down the Witch Queen and the Queen of Fire, convincing them that she is not out for their blood or their realms. She does not give a fuck. She just wants to stop the battle.
Well said.
Do you want to read the next one too?
Yeah, sure. Summoning up all her power and with the help of the other two queens, the Dazzler blankets the battlefield with soothing, peaceful, comforting, and suddenly beautiful light displays, which has soldiers on all sides dropping their arms and marveling.
Hey, hold on. So she stops
Yes.
the fight by taking a laser pointer and squiggling it across the wall.
Ooh!
And all the soldiers start trying to paw it really fast.
Yeah.
Pretty
Well,
much.
some of them are lizards and some of them are unicorns, so that seems fine.
They're hoofing it really fast.
They're like,
One
"Ooh."
of them is actually a cat with cat powers.
That's true. The
True.
Kiss guy.
They're
That's
actually just
true.
watching the guy from Kiss do it, and everyone else is standing there watching.
That
going
would
like,
be
"What
really
the hell?"
funny.
This, I would truly love that, by the way. The Kiss guy is just like on his knees, just like pawing, trying to catch the holograms. That would
Also,
be
it
funny.
turns out that like Dazzler doesn't have any powers. They're just all taking massive amounts of ecstasy and be like, "Look at the light coming from her hands."
That also kind of feels like it may have influenced this script, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, just a smidge.
They definitely took the contractually obligated stars and worked backward from there.
Yeah, with a lot of drugs while working backward. Yeah.
Yes, it was what 1979.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
all
yeah, there
know
was
what was
definitely drugs
popular
involved
back
in this.
then. Yeah, totally.
1000%.
Coffee,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I
they
just
were
say
just
real
having
quick,
a lot of coffee. That's all it
lots
was.
of coffee.
this is a missed opportunity to have Gene Simmons as Toad. I'm just gonna say that because of the
Yes.
tongue thing.
Oh,
Yep, that's a good
yes.
point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
All
Anyway,
right.
Sorry.
Unfortunate.
Meanwhile, quiet falls like a blanket over Sheep Meadow, except for the knoll where Lord Chaos stands. He's screaming in agony and then shrinks back into oblivion, leaving Chatham, Dewey, and Howie drained, shaken, and nervous. So
Man,
he is
Naked?
sorry.
looped
No.
out of existence.
Wait,
in, like,
Did she
two
just
paragraphs.
musical number Rodney Dangerfield to death?
Also,
Well,
like, imagine-
back into his 3 primordial Rodney Dangerfields at the very
What,
least.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
would
yeah.
this movie been like if we were watching it on the TV and like they just didn't
Okay, also,
explain what was happening?
It would
and
be
then she just-
animated, so it would be so trippy. Like,
It
this
would've- it
would have
would've
been
It would,
a
you know
cult
what?
classic.
I feel like that Scooby Doo Kiss movie was this movie.
It
and
was.
They just, like, just
Ryan,
made
we
that
should
and
look
they're
into
like,
that after
combination
this
of
and like
that
see.
and the animated version of the Hobbit, like
Yes.
somewhere between those two things.
Yeah.
That would have
yeah.
been fucked up.
This has to be animated by what's his name that made all the creepy movies back in that time period. What do you guys know who I'm talking about? Oh my god, it's like
Yes.
I mean, I don't
Katie's-
know. Don Bluth.
Katie's
Yes.
listening. Don Bluth, that's him. Don Bluth
Yeah.
needs
He
to do
was
this.
busy doing his own shit. He wasn't doing contractually obligatory Scooby Doo Kiss episodes
Okay,
or
could you
anything
imagine
else.
if he did
Being in
this?
that meeting, he's just like, "Hey, so I know that you were doing this kind of like weird, trippy, secret of Nim shit, but if you consider doing a musical number
With
vehicle
Cher,
for
Donna
Cher,
Summer,
Donna
Kiss, and the
Yeah.
Village People, and Don Bluth's
Right.
just like, listen, for enough drugs, I'll consider it. Todd, it's your turn.
Oh, yay.
And
Moments later, the Dazzler, who's back to being the Dazzler,
The
trademark,
Dazzler.
Spider-Man and the Avengers, the Witch Queen, the Queen of Fire, the Stompers, the Dead Knights, Lenny, Squiggy,
Oh
Cheetah, Dean,
my
Hound,
God.
Tristan, my
I
mom,
write this?
your mom,
White Queen showed up.
everyone's
Rocky!
mom.
A chapter from Warcraft Valley.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
it did read a little fanficky. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start that over. Moments later, the Dazzler,
What?
Spider-Man, the Avengers,
have
the
to
Witch
hear it
Queen,
again? Oh my
the
god.
Queen of Fire, the Stompers, the Dread Knights, and Lenny and Squiggy confront Cheatham, Dewey, and Howe, and Steven, and Tristan,
Steven.
and Knuckles. Cheatham, Dewey, and Howe, it turns out, are a law firm, so naturally are acolytes of chaos. That,
what?
buddy, I need you to read that sentence to yourself again and think about how a law firm equates to chaos. Law and order. Chaos. God. Dick.
Yup.
They arranged the war between the two queens to create the chaos they craved. That is a hell of a sentence to read quickly. Trouble was,
all
the
of this
two
is
forces were too equally balanced. A third force had to be introduced, hence the summoning of the Dazzler trademark and company. With the defeat of Lord Chaos, now there will be peace, and so, ironically, the prophecy was fulfilled. The, quote, Sun Queen and her, quote, knights indeed united the two realms.
Wait.
Lenny-
So was Lord Chaos the one who came up with the prophecy in the first place? Like as a
Yes.
bit to try to get the
Yeah.
Fire Queen and the Witch Queen to fight? And then it turned
Yes.
out like as a sort of weird joke that it was. This is okay. Sorry for even
weird
asking
joke.
that question.
So
I'm
weird.
sorry. I don't know what I
It's
was.
Hold
about
on.
to be proven
I'm
right
really
again,
confused.
though, Maddie,
So-
because Lenny finds a natural partner in Squiggy, and for the first time in their lives
They
together,
finally fuck.
they're funny. Cheatham
Yeah.
and Dewey Howe are put to work as
I'm so
kindergarten
good.
teachers to learn what true chaos is.
It doesn't make
That's
any
really
sense.
stupid.
You know,
But again, I really
What
wish
is-
this was animated and like
Me
it was
too,
just
because
not
we could have
explained
watched
it's
it,
explained in
and I would have
narration, but
really
it would just
enjoyed
been like
watching it.
it would have been them being transported away and then in a like a kindergarten room and they'd be like,
True chaos, they would have said.
We'd be like, we would have been like, what's happening?
Okay,
Like,
but
what
also they
actually
shouldn't
happened?
be in a place with true chaos because then they'd become Lord Chaos again, which is what we don't want.
yeah.
I truly enjoy the idea that they attempted this whole fucking machination shit and it doesn't work, and then they put them in charge of a bunch of kindergartners, and they're like, yes!
Yes!
And become like,
Yes.
Let me read
The
his
Gene
final
Jafar-
paragraph
I
and then
think,
we
Maddie,
can be
why don't you
done.
bring it home?
Okay.
Yes.
Unless
Oh,
you really
God.
quickly
So
go back
the
and read
Avengers-
that paragraph that introduces everybody again.
Oh no, I can't. And so the
you mean the
Avengers,
Dazzler,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, the Avengers, the Witch Queen,
Yeah.
the Queen of Fiera, the Stompers, the Dread Knights, Lenny, Squiggy, Sheeta, Dewey Howe, and Tristan?
Did you read that off? Did you read it? They come off the top of your head.
Yeah.
No,
help.
I scrolled back.
Definitely read
I'm
that,
not.
It wasn't
that
that far back, but it would have been
Not
impressive
that
if
much.
you should have
Wow.
been like, yeah, I did remember.
Yeah,
all
you
of
should
it.
have
did,
just said you remembered every
completely.
character name
Just
You
because God
can't.
knows.
You can't see my face. You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And
All right,
so
Maddie.
and so the Avengers, Spider-Man, and Dazzler prepare to be sent back in time.
I didn't
Aren't they
realize-
worried that this is the future, by the way? I forgot this was the future.
I mean,
until it
this is
said
better-
that.
I gotta point out this is significantly better than any of the X-Men features, which are
That's
also
true.
shitty.
No,
At
you're
least
not
this was
wrong.
funny.
This
You
one's
know?
pretty fun.
Unicorns.
And lizards
Right.
and Donna Summer and Cher, who I don't know
Or
how they
maybe they
got
just
there.
haven't gone far enough into the future to have met the Sentinels yet, you know?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, Dazzler is cold towards Tristan since she feels used by him. He has been found guiltless by the queens because he was in the control of Lord Chaos until the end, but none of the women can quite forget being deceived. Tristan is brokenhearted. He swears to the Dazzler that his love for her was real. He picks for her a big, beautiful flower and asks her to keep it as a token of his love. In the end, she believes and forgives him just as she, Spider-Man, and the Avengers fade back in
Wait,
time.
Did he just like lean over and find like a dandelion? He's like, I picked this for you.
Yeah, and she's
Pretty
like, "Oh,
Okay.
I'm still going back in
Just-
time, though."
Just
Yeah.
wait.
Also-
Just wait.
Thanks to the Witch Queen's magic combined with the Queen of Fire's mystic energies, Tristan watches her fade out tearfully, then says, "Oh well." He straightens his collar, dusts off his jacket, picks up a big, beautiful flower, and heads towards the Witch Queen. Wow. Men are trash. That's what Jim Shooter says.
There is
Yep.
our denouement.
The
Robin
end.
Williams fucks Cher. The
This
end.
movie.
This
Man,
movie.
this movie.
This movie
I don't-
is
I have no
very
word.
gay. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
I didn't think this movie was gonna be that gay. I was like not really expecting that. But anything with Donna Summer and the Village People, and sure, I'll say it, Kiss and
Yeah.
Cher.
Well, I mean, it's like
The only
Dazzler.
thing we were really missing was ABBA.
Yeah.
That's true.
Whoa.
I
And
could have
Grace
seen them being
Jones.
thrown in.
Richard Simmons.
We're gonna imagine
Yeah.
that Grace Jones was playing Dazzler the whole time. That helps, I
That's
think.
fine with me.
Even
Grace
though she
Queen.
wouldn't have been passed out for that long, I feel like she would
Yeah, I
have
was gonna,
punched
like, Grace
popped Tristan
Jones
right
would
in the
not-
jaw.
Grace Jones
Grace
would not
Jones
have put up with any of Tristan's pickup artist bullshit,
Yeah,
for the
she
record.
would have
Yeah, you're
100% been like, I'm sending the script back and make it so I'm like an Amazon warrior, please. And they're like, okay, I guess, Grace Jones.
Yeah, but I'm just saying this was a much gayer script than I thought it would be. It also made significantly less sense than I expected. I thought it would be
Same.
Something logical, because I knew based on this blog post that it was going to impress a lot of people. And now I'm just thinking about like how many drugs everyone must have been doing during this time period to have read this script treatment and thought to themselves, not only do I want to buy the fuck out of this, I want to make this a feature film starring Bo Derek.
Yes.
Like, what?
I don't know who or why. Or maybe
It's-
I
okay.
think Derek wanted to play Dazzler, but she didn't know like what the script was.
I think
Yeah.
she
That
makes
did
sense.
though, because on the
Okay.
basis of I'm gonna read the rest of this blog post now because we're all on board now. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Are we?
Yeah. Alice went to the Cannes Film Festival in May of 1980 with my treatment in hand. She managed to get a meeting with Bo Derek and get her to read my treatment, the one we just read. On
Oh
the
my God.
basis of my treatment, Bo agreed to become attached to the project. She wanted to play Dazzler. There's a picture of Jo and her husband, John, taken at Cannes that was featured on the cover of People magazine, blah, blah, blah. That was the time period. Who cares? Bo was fresh from the success of 10 with Dudley Moore. She was the hottest star in Hollywood, top of the A-list of bankable stars. Bankable means that the mere attachment of such a star guarantees studio financing. Suddenly there was a bidding war among the studios for the project. Again, this is the shit we just read. How is
Wow.
that
Oh my God.
possible?
I don't know.
Why?
Anyway,
I
then
think
Marvel commissioned a screenplay by Leslie Stevens, and this is the part where Jim Shooter gets really pissy and is like, I can't believe they got somebody
That
else to write the screenplay,
bitch.
which, Jim, I don't know if I agree with you
No,
anymore, my
okay.
friend, because I just
But
read what
here's
you
the
did
deal.
right.
Yeah.
But he describes this. Okay, he describes the script that Leslie Stevens writes.
I know. It's not
and
great.
it was even worse
It
than
is
this.
worse. It is
That's
worse.
insane.
Stevens ignored what I had written completely and wrote a piece of crap that defies description. In those days, despite the reasonable success of the first Superman movie, comics were still thought of as silly and campy. So that's what Stevens went for. It was moronic. Stevens also
time out.
discarded the light
Time
powers.
out.
Wait, are you
Okay.
saying that's not what was happening in this script?
Right?
Like, does that mean that he thinks his own treatment was not silly and campy?
And
Music
wasn't
is
The
a
one where
serious
Rodney
film.
Dangerfield is three lawyers who are secretly chaos that are
And
using
also, like,
Robin Williams
fighting
to strike
against
the
Cher
Queen
and Donna
Stop
Summer
effing
with Kiss and fucking the YMCA happening in the background. And he's like, this is my serious Mad Max film. We're going to take it very seriously, everybody.
Lord Chaos is a completely serious character.
Honestly, this is taking me back to D2 again. It's just me screaming, this is a serious movie that we're filming, guys.
Yeah.
Except we didn't
I'm
have
sorry that I got
Marvel's
very
like
shouty.
endorsement. No, listen, we're all screaming a lot. Does
you talking
anybody
about?
have any
Marvel
final
hired
thoughts
me.
before we want to log off and eat some dinner? Because I know it's getting late here. Any thoughts,
I
anybody? Did you love
don't
it?
know.
Would you have
I've
bought
got
it?
nothing.
If you were Bo Derek, would you have read this script and
What
thought
are
to
we reading
yourself,
next?
get
I'll
me
look
on
at that.
there? Ryan, only
Bo
you know
Derek.
the answer to that.
That's true. I do. I'm
I
trying
think,
to pull it
I
up
think
right
if
now.
we made a modern version of this that was clearly a parody with the right voice actors, this could be fucking incredible.
I agree.
If
Yes.
it was self-aware,
Mhm.
but this was not self-aware at all,
No.
and that is
No.
what turns it into such a tragedy.
Yeah, it's kind of too bad. It's kind of too bad.
He was trying to
the
be
next-
cool.
The next script we're reading is Andrew Kevin Walker's X-Men script that he wrote in 1994.
Oh
Right.
boy, 90s politics, baby. Bill Clinton.
I mean,
can't
I'm
wait.
scrolling through it, and at least Magneto is here and called Magneto this time.
Seems like
Yeah.
a good
I
start.
would really like to have at least one script where Magneto is not a fucking white supremacist.
Like
That
a
would be
not a
cool.
literal
But
Nazi.
then I scrolled down a little bit further, and Jean's going, Scott, come on in here. Let Logan be mad. And then she's like, and now
Okay,
now I'm reading something
well.
with Iceman, but
Ooh.
at least an Angel's back. But
Love
it looks
that.
like
Love
they
to see
actually have
Warren.
stuff. Yeah.
Katie's so
Bobby
mad.
and Warren.
I don't
Speaking of
see
Warren,
Kitty or Jubilee
You
though.
see
so
Warren?
there's that.
Here's little Warren.
Eddie.
It's Warren.
This is Gyrick and Trash.
That's the only Warren I like.
This is the Warren we love. Hey,
Kitty, what do you mean you
Warren.
don't like
He's
Warren?
like-
Are you just mad that like Poochie slept with Warren like 1,000 times at least?
1,000 times.
And on that note, we're going to call it quits. Thanks again, everybody, for
Listening,
tuning in.
everybody.
Thanks,
Um,
everybody.
Do we want to say where we can find everyone before we
Sure.
go?
Do you want to look up our top tier Patreon supporters in the meantime? We can give them a shout out.
Yeah.
So please check out themutantages.com for all of
Whoa,
Ryan's
that's
and
great.
my and everybody
Yes, it
else's
is.
stuff.
It's like-
Rai T, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at SC Nightblade.
See, I'm hovering over your little name plate here so people can see it on the stream. There. Katie, where can people find you? Instagram, mostly.
I'm
is the one you
Instagram.
use.
Pretty much just Instagram. JannyWolf09. And it's really just pictures of my mongoose traveling the country.
It's
That's
pretty
really
cute,
what it
though.
is.
It's pretty
But
cute.
soon to be joined by Knuckles.
Oh my god. Okay, Todd.
He's going to kill you.
Todd, where can people
Really
find
can't wait
you?
for us to
I've
find
already
Ryan
thought of
like
places I could place him
Ryan
in
like
his-
decapitated in a ditch with Knuckles sitting there like
next to him.
Well, we're going to
Right.
Disney in a month, and I'm not sure if I'll come back alive because I told her I'm bringing Knuckles with me, and she's like, I might kill you.
I'm already plotting things I can do with it.
What if I don't
Pictures
bring
of
it, though?
Knuckles
And what?
looking outside
Yeah.
the plane window.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Asking for a drink in the aisle.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
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 right,
yeah,
yeah.
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 Ask it like they're asking. Okay, can you zoom in on the reflection of the dead body's eyes, and like you just see Knuckles in the reflection of Ryan's dead eyeballs?
Yeah.
Todd,
Computer
what's your
enhanced.
Twitter
I was
account?
supposed to be saying where you can find me on the internet, right?
Yes, yes.
Sorry.
I would say you should choose my Twitter feed, Dr. Todd Harper, where I say that I have to be nice, but I haven't been particularly nice lately.
I mean, it's also Twitter.
In my defense, Dean Takahashi is a hack, so
I have no
throwing that out
comment on
there.
that.
There.
And I didn't laugh at it. Anyway, Ryan, who are our top tier Patreon supporters?
Our top tier Patreon supporters are Samuel B, So Mean, Soren B, and Zach S. Thank you for being our top tier
Thank
Patreon supporters. Should we sing it in the style of Dazzler? I don't even know what that would
The
be.
Mutant Ages. So
Do you
mean
believe
Zach S.
in
I can't remember who the other two are.
Yeah, I don't know.
Help. Okay, well, bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you for watching.